An immigration judge in Chicago yesterday ordered more than half a dozen unaccompanied migrant children to be deported from the country. Those children join at least two others who were given removal orders in July. Several Democratic lawmakers attended the hearing and witnessed the process firsthand as they slammed the administration for abandoning the plan to go after, again, the so-called worst of the worst. Joining us now from Chicago, MS Now reporter Nnamdi Egwuonwu. Nnamdi, so take us inside that courtroom. What exactly happened here? What did the judge say?
Yeah, so yesterday we attended a hearing that regarded the most vulnerable of undocumented immigrants, unaccompanied minors. But these minors in particular, according to their attorneys, are those that say they were victims of abuse, abandonment, or neglect. Typically what would happen here is they would file a form I-360 with the United States Citizenship Services, and that would assist them in getting an SIJ classification, Special Immigrant Juvenile. Historically, if you had that classification, what that meant is not only were you deferred from being removed from the country, but in addition to that, you were placed on an expedited path to citizenship. Well, the Trump administration got rid of that rule in April, and what we saw yesterday was the impact of that. A courtroom that was packed with unaccompanied minors that, despite pleas from their attorneys saying that they have had a state court find that they were in fact victims of abuse, abandonment, or neglect, find that they'd be at risk if they were sent back to their country, we still saw at least 8 children get orders of removal back to their home country. Senator Dick Durbin was in attendance and attended those hearings. He was extremely frustrated and talked to us about it afterwards. Take a listen to what he had to say.
You remember how they explained it? We were going after the worst of the worst. The terrorists, the rapists, the murderers, the child predators. We were going to once and forever remove them from America and make our streets safer. I wish the people who made those statements could see what we saw this morning. I witnessed it firsthand. Is this what America is all about? That we take 20,000 kids in our country, abandoned, abused, and neglected, and turn them loose? God only knows where they're headed. No protection, many of them no legal representation. Is this America when it comes to children?
And Willie, I will point out that attorneys for these kids are also concerned because of a decision made by the Trump administration over the summer to end a contract with the Acacia Center for Justice. That group was previously charged by the Office for Refugee Resettlement for providing legal counsel to these unaccompanied minors. They contracted about 100 legal providers across the country, including several that we interviewed yesterday, and they were providing those services. So that contract is over. Many of the attorneys working with these kids yesterday are doing so pro bono, and the new group that's been appointed to take over that responsibility of providing legal counsel, Our Rescue, it's an anti-human trafficking organization, but Willie, I will point out that their own website does not list legal services, legal counsels among the work it does. So a lot of concern here on the ground from advocates, attorneys, and lawmakers, like you just heard.
So, Nnamdi, one of the teenagers, a Guatemalan teenager, when the judge said to him, "Do you have any questions?" asked simply, "Why are you sending me back to Guatemala? What did I do?" Which I think is a question everyone's asking. Why are these kids being sent out of the country?
Well, you know, it's coming amid the backdrop of this deportation drive from the administration. We were talking about over the summer how they were seeking to ramp up the number of removals, and Chicago was a prime location for that. The immigration court here actually saw a 120% jump in removal orders granted between March and June. And part of the way the administration is now sustaining that pace is by going after unaccompanied minors, removing protections that previously, at a minimum, kept them in this country while their claims were adjudicated. That's no more. So now them, just like adult undocumented immigrants, are seeing less continuances granted for them and are seeing an accelerated pace of deportations here.
MS Now reporter Nnamdi Egwuonwu reporting this morning from Chicago. Nnamdi, thanks so much. Mike Barnicle, I'm going to quote Jonathan Lemire from yesterday. What are we doing here? I mean, you got parents being taken off the street. Their kids don't know where they are when they get home from school. We got teenagers being thrown out of the country. We saw these scenes a couple of days ago. A woman and her daughter in their hospital gowns being arrested after they were in a car accident, taken from a hospital and deported from the country. We know what they're doing. They're trying to meet quotas. But stories like this one make you wonder what's at the heart of this.
Can you imagine wearing the uniform of the United States of America and you're deployed to the Lincoln or to the George Washington, both aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean? You're deployed as a member of the Army or the Marine Corps to the Middle East to perhaps fight another war or participate in a war that's ongoing with Iran, and worrying about a brother, a sister, or a child back here in America, going to school and perhaps being snatched off the streets to be deported someplace in the world. We don't know where they deport them. They don't tell you where they deport them. They end up being deported to countries that they have no bearing with. Can you imagine wearing the uniform of the United States of America for this?
Or a father, which was a real case a couple of days
Yeah.
ago. A sailor on the USS Abraham Lincoln, his dad deported.